Okay, I've given this Aquaman comic book a light clean. You can see it's heavily wrinkled. It'll never be near mint, but trying to improve it with a press. Just take a look. So there are a number of scratches. But primarily, I'm going to see if pressing will improve the condition. Remove some of these wrinkles. So just wanted to document the book a little bit more in detail before it was pressed. Okay, the humidification chamber, it's basically a tub from plastic tub with a lid, a little baby humidifier. That's set up. I'm going to put the book in. I've found that humidification, that it's definitely, I'm definitely humidifying the books for quite a while. This setup does a good job of distributing the humidity, so just watch that you don't get portions that are spotted with too much water on the book itself. But this kind of setup does well. Like I've shown in previous videos, you can see what went into this, but it's pretty basic materials, fairly inexpensive. I tend to check the book every few minutes, turn it, and I can also hold the book over the humidifier to spot treat or inject more humidity into certain portions of the book. Okay, so we'll let that sit and we'll put it into the press. The book was very dry, and it's been taking quite a bit of humidity. I'm going to show here. I'm opening the book at different points, but I can tell that it just was a really dry compared. Now this is a little bit older comic book. This is from the 60s. Nick Cardy cover, 12 center. So this is Silver Age Aquaman, some 1960s goodness. But I'll close that back up. I'm finding that sometimes, like with this book, probably 20 minutes, a good 20 minutes of humidification isn't going to hurt. That's been my experience so far. Okay, I've been babysitting this. Some of these require a little bit more babysitting than others. I kind of underestimated. I just counted and I have approximately 80 comic books set aside, and there's been a few more that that have come in that I've wound up pressing, kind of jumped the line and went ahead and pressed a few others, but this is pretty much ready, so I'll go ahead and get the press started. Of course, if it's if the results aren't that great, I can always press it again. But just kind of, and I've only done about 10, maybe a dozen books. I'm probably up to about a dozen that I've pressed, and maybe 15, somewhere in that range. Anyway, so just kind of at this point, from my experience so far, I'm just judging the moisture level and thinking about this book with the wrinkles on the cover. What's it going to take to press those out, to allow the comic book to remember how it was when it was new, and let those paper fibers reorient themselves and become nice and smooth and flexible. See, it's kind of counterintuitive, and I'm kind of curious if it's something that you're familiar with or have experience. You know, does this moisture over time have any impact on the book itself? You know, from so far what it seems, it restores the smoothness and flexibility of the paper. So I haven't really hesitated. Of course, I don't want it to be super saturated, but adding a little moisture seems to help. Especially this book was just really soaking it in. It was very dry, which kind of stands to reason, I guess. Some books over time can become that way. I can smell everything. Everything smells fine. I know that sounds weird, but you kind of rely on all your senses: touch, sight. I don't know about listening to the book, but you do hear the paper moving. So kind of a little bit of an art, but definitely some science behind it. Not sure what that is exactly. Okay, so we're up to temperature. So I'm going to go ahead and unplug, move my little chamber out of the way here, and start getting the book ready. Have some. Okay, well, like I mentioned, this book I wound up babysitting a little bit more to get the moisture in, but overall, you know, maybe a half hour or less. There's something in the morning before I get ready for work, leave for work. 15 to 30 minutes I can give a light cleaning, humidify, and set a book into the press. So we'll get our... And I have, I've tried a few different arrangements, but so far I give a shout out to Swaggle House. I think this was his method. Also, I have not had to refill the humidifier, and I've noticed, like, this is the 80-pound paper. The part that's outside of the cover of the book is kind of wrinkled up a little bit, but I'm still going strong and reusing all the materials without an issue so far. But I am checking and placing the heavyweight paper. So this will never be a perfect book, but definitely if we can smooth out these wrinkles, that'll be a big improvement. Make it a more desirable book. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I don't have a spine roll or anything on this to try to straighten out, so we'll just set that in the press. I have added the bottom metal plate, but again, not really sure because this is the only surface that gets hot. Not sure if it manages to transfer all the way through, but there's the stack. And I've also played with the the tension. Definitely want it just to be a real light close. In fact, that was a little tighter than what I'm used to. I'm not sure if this one was a thicker book or... And then finally, I'll just make a note here real quick. I have found that running this 20 minutes, I'm still at 160 degrees, but I have found that I've been running it 2 cycles for a total of 20 minutes, 1200 seconds. And I mean, I'm not sure that this one program's past 1,000 seconds. So I had been doing 10 minutes. So that is one thing that I have been applying 20 minutes of heat. So it's all set. I can go about my business. I hear the timer go off and I set it one more time and then I shut it off, and it will sit here in the press for 12, 24 hours, however long, until you're ready to do another book. Just let it sit, and I will film this when I reveal it, so we see how it did on the first press, and then we can decide if we want a second press. Okay, this reveal is the Aquaman comic book. Set that out of the side there, clear some space here. And this one did set. I was away from the shop for several days, so it did sit in the press a little longer. This is one of the oldest books I've done to date. This is Aquaman, issue number 26 from 1968. And yeah, vast improvement, no doubt about that. Now, there's advanced techniques for removing, like for example, this book has a tide line from some kind of spill or something in its history. You know, it's been around a long time, so a lot of things have happened to this book, and it, the pages feel good. I did apply quite a bit of moisture to this book. But yeah, that definitely improved the book. You know, took it from low grade to, you know, maybe only a 4 or 5, but the condition is much better. It's a mid-grade readable comic book, and you don't have all the wrinkles in the book. I'm really impressed with how well this turned out, actually. So hope this has been helpful, and we'll go on to the next reveal.